leadership of the two houses, members of parliament, members of the county assembly, and invited guests, good evening. Happy New Year. Your Excellency, let me take this opportunity under this privilege to be the first Kenyan to wish you and your family Happy New Year. Your Excellency, as we usher the new year, we reflect with a lot of pride the great steps that you have taken in leadership in anchoring our country economically and putting this country on the right trajectory towards economic revival. 2023 has undoubtedly been a difficult year, but through pragmatic leadership and prudent planning, we are proud as a nation that as we usher in the new year, we are on a great path of economic revival, and this country in a few months will shine once more. Your Excellency, on behalf of those you have given the privilege to serve under you, we want to thank you for your leadership and your guidance, and much more so for putting Kenya on the world map. Kenya today is respected in the entire world, and Kenya has become the destination of choice for people from all over the world. Again, Your Excellency, before I invite you to address the nation, let us also tell the people of Kenya that even as things look difficult, there are many gains that have been made. It is in no doubt that Kenya is a very peaceful and secure country, and I really want to take this opportunity on your behalf to thank our defense forces, our National Police Service, that crime has been brought to almost zero in this country, and this Christmas is a testimony that Kenyans have enjoyed without any problems because the country has been secured. And as we go into 2024, we look to even better times. So, Your Excellency, we want to encourage you. We want to urge you to stay focused. We want you to ignore noises. We want you to continue executing the mandate you are given by the people of Kenya. And you know where Kenya has come from, where Kenya is, and where Kenya is going. And we are confident that in the fullness of time, the people of Kenya will be a very happy lot. With those very many remarks, let me request all of you to be upstanding and help me to usher in the President of the Republic of Kenya. Makofi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy President. Please, let's take our seats. Distinguished leaders who are present here, the great people of Nakuru, good evening. Hamjambo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. God is good, and all the time. Assalamu alaikum. Asanteni sana. Kwanza wacha nichukue nafasi hii nishukuru viongozi wote wa Nakuru wakiongozwa na gavana wetu Susan na wananchi wa Nakuru kwa kutupokea jioni ya leo katika sherehe hii ya muhimu ya kuvuka mwaka. Kama watu wa Nakuru na watu wa Kenya, asanteni sana kwa kutukaribisha hapa Nakuru County na Nakuru Town. And let me, on behalf of the many friends who've come here this evening, thank the great people of Nakuru for welcoming us warmly into Nakuru. And we are now in the final minutes of 2023, an eventful year for individuals, communities, and for us collectively as a nation. We navigated through major difficulties, faced significant challenges, and celebrated numerous triumphs. Our nation is the sum of our lives, experiences, and aspirations. Like most of us, our country has lived through an eventful year and made encouraging progress across many sectors in the midst of daunting setbacks. The impact of global economic dynamics adversely affected us, compounded by the war in Europe, rising interest rates in America, and the unfortunate effects of climate change that occasioned the most severe drought in 40 years. All these factors slowed down our economic performance, resulting in increased commodity prices. Fertilizers and cereals experienced significant price hikes, contributing to the rise in food prices and the overall cost of living. To manage, moderate, and overcome these difficulties, this year became the year of a complete paradigm shift in the handling of our national issues. We collectively summoned the courage to make bold, decisive, far-reaching, and long-term decisions to once and for all put our country on the path to attaining its full socio-economic potential. The choices we've made over the last year were neither easy, populist, nor convenient. They were, however, meaningful, appropriate, and necessary. In the short term, painful, but in the long term, gainful. 2023 is the year we decided to stop wastage and extravagance, instead opting to live within our means. We decided to cut expenditure by up to 400 billion shillings so as to reduce our borrowing. We decided to enhance our tax revenues by Kenya shillings 600 billion to fund our programs and development so as to safeguard our sovereignty and independence. Ladies and gentlemen, we certainly cannot be independent if we are enslaved by monumental debt, as has been the case. We take pride in the strides we've made as a nation. We have triumphed over the threat of economic stagnation and are now in secure space with regard to our sovereign debt obligations. Inflation has reduced to 6.8%, and our GDP is growing at a rate of 5.4%, placing Kenya as the 29th fastest growing economy in the world. In 2023, we decided to get rid of consumption subsidies that not only drove our nation into deeper financial distress, but were also unsustainable, opaque, and only benefited middlemen at the expense of those who truly deserved support. Instead, we deliberately redirected our focus to support production through incentives in our crops, livestock, and fisheries programs. Today, with the blessing of good weather, thanks to God, these interventions have enabled us to increase our food productivity by 40% at a fraction of the previous cost. Working with farmers, our foremost patriots, we shall double our efforts in 2024 until we reduce our Kenya shillings 500 billion food import bill to zero and rid our country of the shame of hunger. In 2023, we decided that growing our economy, as has been the case in the past, was not enough. Change was an inevitable imperative. As such, we rolled out an economic growth model intentionally designed to be inclusive, deliberately expanding opportunities and creating jobs. millions of jobs, all types of jobs, construction jobs, technical jobs, digital jobs, as well as entrepreneurial opportunities, both locally and abroad. Our housing program, for example, not only provides decent home ownership for millions, including some slum dwellers who now live in squalor, but it also aims to reverse agricultural land fragmentation and has already created 120,000 jobs with plans to employ an even greater multiple of people next year. For the first time, my Mama Mboga and Boda Boda friends will now have a chance to own a home in our Kenya shillings 4,000 a month, 3% interest rate tenant purchase scheme. That will be the case for other Kenyans on our 6% affordable housing and 9% market housing program. All these housing programs will be at a single-digit interest rates, which is half the current rates. Ladies and gentlemen, our digital superhighway infrastructure with 22,000 computers being supplied is already creating thousands of jobs in our technical and vocational education and training institutions. Even as we roll out our ICT hubs in every ward and every constituency in Kenya. Our international jobs program is well on course, having negotiated many bilateral labor agreements to open up opportunities for employment for Kenyans globally. Our collective efforts have not only rescued us from economic paralysis, but propelled us towards a brighter future. We navigated complex debt situations, accelerated economic progress, and invested significantly in our human capital. Recognizing the pivotal role of education, we increased allocation to the education sector by Kenya shillings 127 billion, which enabled us enhanced capitation for our learners, bringing us closer to the dream of universal education from ECD to the tertiary level. We also employed 56,000 teachers to improve access to quality education throughout Kenya. We have equally made immense progress in promoting financial inclusion and dignity of Kenyans at the lower economic echelons. The Hustler Fund and the NSSF new contribution model exemplify our dedication to inclusive growth, financial well-being, and social security for all Kenyans. We have made affordable credit available to millions of Kenyans who for years were alienated and underserved by financial institutions. The Hustler Fund has disbursed over Kenya shillings 42 billion to Kenyans in just 1 year, making it the largest financial inclusion program in Kenya. And most importantly, over 7 million Kenyans are now regular customers, transacting and doing business, freed from the bondage of Shylocks and predatory lenders. Kenyans who would otherwise not make it beyond the watchman at the financial institution now access close to 100 million shillings from the Hustler Fund every single day. We shall continue to improve and expand the range of products offered under this revolutionary intervention. Similarly, our universal health coverage program has set in motion a transformative approach to health delivery. With 100,000 community health promoters actively contributing to the betterment of our nation's health, we are witnessing the tangible impact of our dedication to the well-being of people. In the new year, we continue our health transformation at the health, we are witnessing the tangible impact of our dedication to the well-being of people. In the new year, we continue our health transformation at the secondary and tertiary health levels, emphasizing the need for a fair contribution system for social health insurance, as the previous setup disproportionately burdened and alienated low-income earners from accessing health care. For the first time, ladies and gentlemen, every Kenyan, without exception, will have health insurance, and all Kenyans will access treatment, including for notorious chronic conditions like cancer, hypertension, and diabetes, without discrimination. These are only brief highlights of the work done